Hello and welcome inside the ACU TV or studio for this week's Optimist Newscast. My name is Macy Weathers alongside Carrie Johnston with a weekend sports recap in just a second. Our top stories this week include the new on-campus housing lottery system, an SGA budget meeting, and the upcoming of baseball season. This is the Optimist Newscast. Worthington Life is making changes to its dorm selection process to create a more equal opportunity for the university apartments and sophomore housing. Starting in 2020, the apartments underwent renovations which brought buildings offline. With certain buildings offline, Res Life moved the room selection process internally and took most of the students' ability to have final say in the roommate selection. Res Life has confirmed that will be going back to pre-COVID system and randomly assigning students a time slot in which they'll be able to select their dorm, floor, and room that they prefer. The Student Government Association voted on where to distribute funds totaling $33,000 for their 2023 spring semester on student-led organizations. These organizations requested a little over $73,000, which is 218% above SGA's current budget for these clubs. The average request was slightly above $1,200. The budgeting for this year's groups passed with 27 senators in favor and 1 opposed, and one amendment to allocate $1.50 per club to Sigma Delta Phi. With a recent rise in burglaries and car thefts around campus, Shelby Bird sat down with ACU PD for more information. Shelby?
As our season of icy weather slowly comes to an end, on-campus vehicle burglaries have ramped up. In the past 2 weeks, the ACU Police Department has answered 4 calls for vehicle burglaries, as well as 1 call for a stolen car. The burglaries were mostly committed by juveniles pulling on car doors in parking lots to see which vehicles had been left unlocked. ACUPD Chief Jason Ellis said that because these were crimes of opportunity, the number one thing students can do to prevent theft is to lock their doors.
The students here at ACU can prevent the burglary just by locking the cars. I mean, that is what we've seen. These are opportunist type crimes. That's what they're looking for. They don't want to sit there a long time and try to jimmy the lock and go anywhere else. All they want to do is look for an unlocked vehicle and go on to the next one. So, really, honestly, the number one thing is to lock your vehicles. But then beyond that, please take your items in or hide them. Just put something over them. If they don't see anything, they're going to go on to the next one. And always take your keys out of your car.
In addition, because ACUPD can't be everywhere at once, Chief Ellis recommends staying vigilant and reporting any suspicious activity to ACUPD.
So if you see anybody that looks weird or doesn't belong on campus, or just even past 10 o'clock at night walking around cars, if they call us, that way we can catch them. And it's not always just B&Vs, but it's just people walking around. It might just be somebody just doesn't look like they belong. Please call us. And there's nothing too big or too small for us in our police department. We got 24/7 patrol, so we will come check anything out. Nothing is silly or goofy. I just want everybody to report things to us.
To report suspicious persons or activity, call ACPD at 325-674-2911. Stay safe, Wildcats. I'm Shelby Bird with the Optimist reporting.
Thanks, Shelby. An ACU-wide bone marrow drive is continuing until the 23rd. The process consists of joining the national blood marrow donors by swabbing the inside of your mouth for a DNA sample and testing it to see if it matches anyone in need within their database. The current set goal is to have 600 students registered for this, and the organization with the most students registered under their name will receive a cash prize up to $750. Sadie Hawkins Week was last week, and SGA encouraged students to spread the love. This was done by pushing students to bring a date to their various events. And SGA also had a bouquet bar on campus. This week, SGA is hosting Health Week, and to kick it off, SGA is holding a blood drive in the campus mall from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wednesday. Following the blood drive, there will be different organizations partnering with SGA to teach about living a healthy lifestyle. Up next, here is Carrie Johnston with an update on Wildcat Athletics. Carrie?
Thanks, Macy. Track and field had a busy weekend, sending part of the team to Lubbock for the Jarvis Scott Open and the rest of the team to the Gorilla Invitational in Pittsburgh, Kansas. In Lubbock, Tyler Richardson threw 18-12 meters in shot put, Jack Marshall ran the 200 meter in 21 seconds, followed by Addison Franklin at 21.51 seconds and Jamal January at 21.59. Distance also fared well in Kansas. After a rough first day for the Wildcats, they managed to bounce back and have a much better second day in this invitational. Irene Rono ran a 4-minute and 52-second mile with Grace White and Tessa Holderman following with 5:10 and 5:13 respectively. This was their last season indoor meet with the full team and will be preparing for the conference meet in Spokane on the 24th and the qualifiers in Lubbock on the 17th. Men's tennis had a busy weekend playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with 2 games at home and 1 away. On Friday, Trinity University traveled to Abilene and fought hard, but still fell to the Wildcats 7-0. Saturday, the Tyler Junior College Apaches also traveled to Abilene. ACU took 5 single matches to 2 of those matches, going to win 3 sets to determine a victor. With a final score of 5-2, the Wildcats finished their weekend going to Lubbock to take on Texas Tech. Unfortunately, after many hard-fought singles and doubles matches, the 2-day winning streak came to an end as the Raiders beat the Wildcats 7-0. The Cats are now 6-3 and are going to the HEB Invitational Friday and Saturday in Corpus Christi. The softball team also had a busy weekend as they hosted 5 games at Polly Wells Field for the Wildcat Invitational to kick off their season. Texas A&M Corpus Christi played first at 4 p.m. on Friday, followed by the University of Texas at El Paso at 7 p.m. ACU was mercy ruled during both of these games, with A&M lasting 6 innings with the final score of 3-11 and UTEP lasting 5 innings of final score of 2-12. Saturday was a different story, however, first playing Murray State at 1 p.m., then UTEP again at 4 p.m. The Wildcats went on to win both of these games with a final score of 13-12 and 8-2 respectively. The final game of the weekend was played on Sunday against Corpus Christi, and after a long-fought battle ended in a heartbreaking 3-6 loss for the Cats. Softball plays again this weekend in the UTSA tournament in San Antonio. Women's basketball is starting this week on a 2-loss streak, falling to California Baptist in what was almost overtime on February 9th, 77-75. In the fourth quarter, ACU put up 23 points compared to their 12. However, it still wasn't enough to take the victory. On Saturday, ACU traveled to Edinburgh to take on UTRGV, and although the Vaqueros won 75-71, Addison Martin put up an impressive 25 points throughout this game. On the UTRGV side of the ball, Tiffany McGarity showed up and made a career-best performance with 30 points. Their next game will be against the I-20 rivals, Tarleton State, on Thursday. This game will be the $1 game and will be streamed live on ESPN+.
And, didn't execute as cleanly as we need to. There's great urgency in that situation, but you still have to, be under control, make perfect passes, finish shots, everybody go rebound, and we just, we're not real clean in the last 2 possessions. I thought that we were giving up too many drives, just straight down the middle third of the floor, and our players really adjusted well and closed out a little bit better. We could dictate drives, and that allowed us to get established help side, ready to help, and so they did a good job adjusting defensively after that timeout.
Felt like our defense was really amped up in that last 3 minutes. We were getting the stops that we needed, boxing out, getting the rebounds, so it just came down to offense execution and needing to take better shots.
Definitely. Going into the fourth quarter, we were down 13, and I told them, I was like, if we want to win this ball game, we have to get stops. And we came out in the fourth quarter and we set the tone at the beginning. And that was the key to the fourth quarter. That's how we had the chance to win the game. But it just came down to the last few possessions, and we have to execute a lot better.
Men's basketball had their first Responders Appreciation game on Saturday at home against Sam Houston in Moody Coliseum. 4 Wildcats made it into double figures for this game, Pleasant being one of them with 13 points. After a hard-fought battle on both sides of the court, Sam Houston ended up scoring 10 more points than ACU, which allowed them to finish on top with a final score of 77-62. Their next game is on Friday on the road against Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona at 10 p.m., and the game will be broadcasting live on ESPNU and the ACU Sports Network. After the game, head coach Brett Tanner said that he was proud of how his team played, and he hopes that this game serves as a wake-up call as they have one of the toughest schedules to finish out their conference season.
I feel like we got out tough. I don't know. Like I said, that's credit to Sam Houston. That's who they are. They're playing for a conference championship right now. And I think maybe we got a little comfortable. We've been playing so well, we got a little comfortable. But hopefully this wakes us up. I know that locker room's disappointed right now. And I'm not worried about us moving forward, but we have the toughest strength of schedule in the league, I believe, if you look at the Ken Palm and all that stuff remaining. That was counting this game. So it's not easy for us. We're going to have to fight through some really good teams, some of them on the road, some of them at home. But I believe our guys can do it. I believe in our team. If we're going to play the way that we know how to play, then we'll be okay.
ACU baseball is starting their season this Friday with a 4-game streak against Nevada. All 4 of these games will be held on Carter Scott Field and will take place on the 17th at 4:05 p.m., 18th at 2:05 p.m., 19th at 2:05 p.m., and the 20th at 12:05 p.m. That's all for the Optimist Newscast this week. I'm Carrie Johnston.
And I'm Macy Weathers. Thanks to you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.